Hello everybody, welcome to episode 38. A lot has actually changed between episode 37 and now. I'm going to zoom out to see if you can tell what. Hopefully the first thing you'll notice is that I was able to figure out a train system. So it actually goes from this very cramped, small area over here where I was just barely able to fit in a train station. And it goes kind of through the north section of the small island and then zigzags around all the way to this bigger island over here where I do have a train station plopped down here for pickup and then drop off of resources that we'll figure out at some point in the near future. We definitely need to get off of this island and start expanding production, expanding resource collection, and continuing to advance in the game. In particular, even though we've got it unlocked now for the electromagnetic science packs, we haven't yet made any of these science packs. So that's something I would love to do today. I'm just not sure if we're actually going to technically get to it. And one of the reasons why I'm worried about that is because if you notice my little loop that I have here of resources, it's primarily full of batteries and low density structures right now. Very little steel coming in. And so I haven't been able to make a lot of products that I need. So you can see a lot of these belts are empty just because I have a huge clogging issue. I think part of that clogging issue is I'm just not using enough of the resources that I do have available. So I'm hoping that once I start building more things that the problem will kind of fix itself. But we'll see how that goes. I also was having too much solid fuel. I had like 15,000 or so in my inventory, so I was recycling them down. And I did stop that, but that's what this recycling machine was for. And I am recycling other things, like I am recycling the low density structures, I am recycling batteries, but with all of the other materials still clogged up at this point, it's just not outputting or any steel, and it's not using any more products. So I'm kind of stuck. Oh, and then looks like I'm missing a filter inserter on that. Will helping that out help me? We'll see. Okay, anyway, another thing that you may notice between episodes is I've tried to fill in as much as I can with things we need in the base. I was desperate enough last episode that I did have to put in kind of my bot building area and some extra plants and things like that throughout here, even though I was hoping to use this space for scrap mining. And you can see that that plan did not go according to plan because I've basically used up all of the room on this little island apart from this itty bitty square right here, which I've also been using for more accumulators. So with that said, that kind of updates you on what's changed between episodes. Although just another quick update, I did expand the mall a little bit more, so I've got production of most of the essentials, I think. I just don't have enough supplies to kind of supply everything. So that's the one big hiccup. So I do want to start by figuring out how we're going to go to another base. I don't have enough steel on me where I can... Oh, steel right here, steel. Maybe I can just grab some from the direct scrap line and make... Nope. Oh, it's the engines I don't have. Okay. So yeah, 14 engines. Should I direct insert the little steel I got into this? Yeah. Because I need 20 engines for a locomotive. And I know I could technically use this train setup with... basically just the one header locomotive, but I would like to get the two. And you can see more steel coming on the line there. In fact, I wonder, what if I just prioritize steel by pulling directly from the lines? Let's do that. Where do I squeeze it? I could squeeze it right here. We'll put a filter down, put in steel, move it now like that, and active provider box it. So I guess priority will be taken off of there and go into the box and either come to feed myself or some of the assemblers and stuff that need it. All right, so we'll see if we can eventually get enough engines for the additional locomotive. But for now, let's go back to the other island, and we'll start hopefully playing with some stuff. I've got basically as many resources as I can bring over there. So I'll meet you over there in just a second. All right, welcome to the new, much bigger island. You can see here we have a lot more room to play with and for factory building and also for some scrap mining. You can see with these different patches here. And then we have easy access to the other islands nearby as well. So I did plop down this little train station like I mentioned. I've got a little area of safety with the lightning prevention or lightning collection at least. And here's the closest scrap. So I think what I want to do is start tapping into this, and then it looks like I'm going to have to just kind of build everything over from scratch again. So I do want to build things over a little bit differently on this island than I did on the much smaller island. In particular, one plan I'm thinking is, since we have the majority of the room kind of in this flat cliff-free area up here, I want to put the majority of the factories and kind of a bus system in this area. I do think that means I should reorient the train station maybe further out of the way, like over here on this little kind of peninsula portion. And then that way we have so much free room for even more recyclers. We can do probably rows and rows or different like tileable versions of the recyclers so that we can have tons of products coming in, and then they can all feed into a very clean shared bus line, or at least that's my initial plan. Of course, all of those plans seem to become spaghetti eventually, but let's start by clearing out some of these resources. Oh, of course, I did not bring any bots with me, so I will have to do that myself. It would be nice to go back and get some bots, but I will do that here in just a minute. I do have some miners on me. Okay. So we don't have to go crazy deleting all of this stuff. I will go back for some bots, but I at least want to make a little bit of room. In fact, maybe the first thing I should do... Oh, I do have a little bit of lightning safety coverage here, don't I? Cool. But regardless, I will still have to plop down something for energy production. So let's just do that real quick. Power pole here. And then we'll bring that to maybe the beginning of the mining line. It just seems to make sense to start with, you know, where the scrap mining comes in, and then we'll figure out where the belts will feed into the eventual recycling lines as well. So let's put that maybe here. Oh, better delete that real quick. Whoops. All right, we'll just start with that. I'm still not sure how many miners it takes to fully compress one of these lines and how many recyclers it takes to compress, you know, a scrap line and so on, but I'm just going to eyeball it. And I guess worth to just delete that too. I don't want to delete that little lightning attractor thingy. So I'm going to save that. And then we'll go up here. And then this will come up. And then, yeah, I should move that train station. I think I'll do that off camera. We'll just move it over to the right-hand side like I mentioned. Oh, let's do another little bit of safety. We'll move this. We can put that right there, something. Fill it in myself because I was too lazy to bring bots, or at least I forgot about it. We'll wait for that to get built, and then this can start wrapping upwards, I guess. There we go. Better than nothing. And then, of course, we'll need to duplicate that over here too. There we go. So we'll do a couple belts, I think, of the scrap material coming in. As far as the recyclers are concerned, did I even bring any with me? I was not nearly as prepared as I thought I was. I'll just build a couple just so I can start to think how this is going to be laid out, and then I'll go back for some more resources. What I'm thinking we'll do is basically the same recycling setup like we have over here, where we have, you know, the 2 output lines. So we can do something like that. We'll have scrap get splitted off into either side like this. But then the thing I'm thinking of that will be unique to kind of redoing the recycling section over here is I'm thinking what I'll do is recycle the scrap products. So what I mean by that, for example, is, and let me just put down something real quick. I'm thinking, since I'm basically running into such massive cloggage issues over here, and I'm getting like too many of one product and not enough of others, and the same products keep getting like in the rotation over and over and over again, maybe I can improve that situation by just splitting these off like this, you know, something like that, and then we'll send priority, like we'll loop it back around. So imagine like this. Move that guy. So we'll do something like that. Of course, I'll have to move this because we need inserters in place for the scrap to feed into the recyclers, but we'll basically do a splitter like this, but make it so the input priority is always going to be the already recycled products. Whoops. And of course I can't demonstrate that fully right now because I don't have any recycled products to begin with, just the scrap. But basically it will force re-recycling of those products. It will break down some things which I know don't have any other broken down products like steel. But I think that will automatically increase my odds of green circuits and things like that. And then what I'll do is another basically cargo wagon situation where we'll filter it out kind of like we did up here. Where is that? Over here. And then instead of having like all of the lines getting spaghettied into different subgroups and onto the belts and stuff like that in kind of the organized but spaghetti-like fashion we did in the smaller island, I do want to use more bots this time. So I think kind of like my cars on belt space, I will have a bunch of robobays over here. I'll see if I can keep the logistic networks separate from each other, but basically the bot's primary responsibility will be to pull from active provider chests that will put just opposite of the cargo wagons, and then they'll go into, not that I have any on hand, but requester boxes that will then feed into different organized main bus lines throughout the base and however we want that to go. So that's my tentative plan. I am anxious to see if it will work, but I need to go back, get some more resources, and then we'll see if we can implement this plan. And since I'm over here at the main small island, I'm just going to grab like all the bots that I can and steal them from this area, because hopefully we shouldn't need them over here. I'm imagining this little island base will become mostly non-functional at some point, but for now I'm just going to grab as much stuff as I can. Alright, I'm headed off a little bit more prepared with tons more supplies this time. I've got a couple bots on me as well. I've got 32 construction, just 16 logistic bots. I wasn't able to capture the rest of them that are floating around at the smaller island. But at least I'll have bots in my pocket to help place some stuff down. And then we can start putting this into practice, hopefully. So we'll start, I guess, with this many recyclers. We'll put in some inserters. Okay. And then let's copy that. Move that over there. Give it power. Okay. So, since I want it to prioritize the recycled products first, so let's put that there. And then basically, let's move this. I think what we'll have to do is wrap this around like that. That goes up there. Move all of that stuff. There we go. And then we'll do something like this, I think. There we go. And then we'll just change the input priority to like that side. So let's give this power and let's see if this will work. And then we'll do same thing over here. Like that. Wrap the products around. This comes down through here. And then we give priority to that. Although I'll have to wrap this around, like move this down, I think one, there we go. Like that. Nope. Okay, something like that. Let's just put it in action first and then I can work out the kinks. We'll just test this side for now. It, of course, has no power. We'll have to add in tons of accumulators. I brought over, I think, as many as I had. I requested 100, but only got 75 on me. But I can start maybe putting them into a little bit of an accumulator grid or something like that, and we can start using some substations to power a bunch of them. And then I would really love to automate the lightning rods too, because I've just been making them by hand, and that's obviously not very efficient. But, you know, we can do something like that and copy it sporadically, and that will help, hopefully. Let's connect up the power grid. There we go. Okay, so it is beginning to work, and you can see the recycled products are coming in. The splitter situation is working, so it's giving priority for the recycled products to go back through the recyclers again before any scrap is allowed onto the belt. Although some scrap is getting on when there's breaks in the belt line. So that's good. That's what I wanted. And then we will put in stack inserters here. So we'll want 6 each side. So like that. We'll need that cargo wagon. Build those in my pocket real quick. And then I think there's going to be some things that I don't want going into the cargo wagon. And now that I'm thinking about it, since we're recycling the materials, I feel like more products come through besides... Oh, actually, let's not... I'm not ready for them yet. I think more products come through than just the 12 main scrap products. So what I want to do is save at least one filtered spot for every product. So that way, even if I do get cloggage or like excess of one product versus the other, there's always at least one stack of availability to come in through the cargo wagon. Then the bots can basically always pull what we need. And then, let's see, is there any point in, let's see, any point in using filters out on these things? Probably not. So with this concept tested, I think that is a good place to end this episode. I think for episode 39 next time, we'll be expanding on this and organizing the actual output of the boxes or the resources that will feed into their eventual main bus lines, and then ramping up production yet again. So thank you guys for joining me. Hope you are liking this bigger island with more space. I certainly already am, and I'll see you next time.